All right. Hi, guys. This is Vinney Chopra again. I come to you live, sometime podcast, actually in different shows. And this is the Apartment Syndication Made Easy, the top seller, the book I wrote. And we have started, 2 years back, also the podcast, which brings lots of great guests on it. And we talk about how we could dig into the commercial real estate and some ups and downs and some good pointers that can really help you all. So thank you for liking the podcast. Give us 5-star reviews on iTunes. We love that. This way our rankings go bigger and better. So today I have a great person. Jay is here, Jaideep actually, full name. He goes by Jay Balakar from Cincinnati, Ohio. And Jay is a business and technology leader with roots in technology consulting. Jay has educational background in computer science and information systems, and has been working with consulting firm since 2013. And Jay started investing in real estate in 2019 to diversify the investment portfolio. And he has become passionate about real estate after doing his first few multifamily repositioning deals, and after realizing the true potential of real estate to change lives and create generational wealth and passive income. Jay is the founder and the managing partner of the principal of the Compounding Capital Group. I like that word, compounding, Jay. Yeah. Thank you so much for, it's exciting. We were just discussing, Jay. I actually was in 1978. Oh my gosh, this is way back when, in Findlay, Ohio, in Ohio. And then we moved to, Bowling Green, Ohio. I remember we got married, my wife and I, 41 years back. And then we moved out here. So how long you been there in Cincinnati?
Yeah, first of all, Vinney, thank you for having me on your show. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. It's always fun. So speaking of Cincinnati, I've been here for almost 11 years. Mm-hmm. So I grew up in India up until I was almost little over 17.
Okay.
And when I was a few months shy of 18, I moved to the US for my undergraduate education. I went to Texas A&M. So I was in College Station, Texas for 4 years.
Yes.
And moved to Cincinnati for grad school, actually. So that's how I ended up in Cincinnati and ended up getting a job in Cincinnati, and have been in Cincinnati since 2011. So about 10 years now. And I like the Midwestern hospitality and the Midwestern weather and cost of living. So I never moved out of here. So still here.
Nice. Very nice. So you've been in the IT field for so long. And what got you started in real estate? I mean, what were your turning points or things like that? Yeah.
Absolutely. So while I was traveling for work, I have a travel job. So the travel is on hold due to COVID. But up until COVID happened, I was traveling Monday through Thursday, mostly to East Coast, sometimes to West Coast as well. And what I was doing is on my flights to the client locations and then coming back, I was reading all of these books about investing and real estate. Real estate always had a special place in my heart. I've always enjoyed real estate. It's always fascinated me. My dad has been a real estate investor, not a very small time real estate investor, but real estate has served him very well. So I saw that growing up as well, that, he never lost money in real estate. Real estate was one gift that kept on giving. So that was something on the back of my mind. And also the creative side of real estate always fascinated me. Repositioning of taking an asset that's not performing well, making it look nice and getting better quality tenants in and repositioning it is something that I always was attracted towards. So finally, after getting some of this education through books, I decided to jump in and bought my first 8-unit multifamily in Cincinnati in early 2020. And so I decided to take the plunge once the travel stopped. and
Yes.
yeah, haven't looked back ever since. Now I don't plan on stopping. It's just a very enjoyable experience.
I love it. Was it like a very heavy repositioning in the 8 units, or was it, yeah, and was it a loan, a bridge loan that you got, or was it seller financing or things like that?
Yes, so this was pretty heavy rehab down to the studs. We had to do all new plumbing, rewiring, 1929 construction, so really old property. And it was really falling apart. But the good thing was that it was in a Class A location. So it was high risk. It was, the worst property on the best block.
Yep,
So,
that's ideal. That's the most ideal, situation you can have, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I always looked at, C minus class in A locations, and they're always well. Like I remember about San Antonio in the Alamo Heights, which is an A area. We kept on buying in the, that area, the C class. Yeah. Oh, that's great. And you've done renovation already in 1 year or so, or how?
yes, so we got the renovations done in about 6 months. So up until July, we were doing renovations. And because of the location, we were able to, I self-managed the construction and the renovation project. And I'm self-managing the property as well. So I do the property management myself.
Okay.
And we were able to lease it out in 10 days, all 8 units.
Oh, wow.
Actually 7 units, and one is Airbnb, short-term rental.
Oh,
So that was definitely a great experience. And the average rents in the area were 750, but we got 925. And that tells you that if you're in a good location and if you offer a quality product, you will get those rents, rent premiums.
for sure, for sure. Awesome, awesome. How has the journey been after that?
Yeah, it's been a great journey since then. That was really my first project, so I did not want to take any money from relatives, friends, or parents. Being the first project, high risk project. After the rehab was done, we signed annual leases. We did a cash out refi. And even during COVID, when the banks were very conservative with cash out refis, they only gave me 65 LTV, but I was able to pull out almost 85% of my initial capital. And so with the cash out refi, the numbers looked great. And now again, I had access to some more capital to reinvest. So we went ahead, and one lesson learned was, again, because these were 8 units, but 2 fourplexes, the appraisal again happens based on comps.
Yes,
So I learned that lesson, and I went after a commercial property after that, and we bought a 10-unit commercial building. And essentially exactly the same story. It was slightly newer, 1965 construction, in a Class B plus neighborhood, but a Class C property. So we purchased it, traditional financing, because it was 100% occupied. But we slowly transitioned all the tenants out over the 4-month period.
Oh,
and
wow.
we renovated the building completely, inside out, exterior, interior. And the rents, we just started leasing that property. And we are actually getting $1,400 in rents for that property, which was renting at $550 when we bought it.
Oh, wow.
So, huge rent bumps there also. So
very big, very big. How much did you spend per unit, like for full renovations and repositioning? How much?
So I spent roughly about, including the holding costs, it was about 20,000 per door.
20,000 per door. Wow.
20,000.
Now this is including the purchase, or no, afterwards?
So purchase was 47 a door.
Okay.
And on top of that, we spent 20 a door to rehab.
Got it.
But that basically included all of like interior upgrades, LVP flooring, granite countertops, stainless steel appliances. So mostly high-end finishes.
Yeah.
And then on the exterior also, we modernized the space by painting the building gray, aluminum lettering and numbering, new signage, landscaping, repaving the asphalt parking lot. So basically everything had to be redone, new gutters, roofing. So But the good thing is, after we did the 8 units, which was similar project, what I'm seeing is once you do everything brand new, you can just hold the property for 10 years and the maintenance requests go down significantly because everything's new.
So true. So true. Yeah, no, that's exciting. And you were able to command almost triple the rent, which is definitely, it's almost, even though the structure is older, but it's almost 2020 built because you rebuilt it, with all the plumbing, electrical, everything and all that. That's great. Were they close by to your 8 units before or no, a different area?
Relatively close. I would say roughly just about a couple miles from this 8 unit. So that way, and again, I'm self-managing this property as well. So it's very easy to self-manage if they are in that 5 to 7 mile drivable distance.
Totally. What would you say are some negatives of self-managing? What challenges have you felt? Yeah.
I would say like my experience with self-management of the first 8 units has been, it's relatively been on cruise control because one, everything's fixed up. And 2, all of my tenants are great tenants. They all work in Fortune 500 companies.
Wow.
They take good care of the apartments. And nobody has really unrealistic expectations that, hey, you got to show up within an hour and things like that. So I have a handyman that I assign all of my maintenance requests to. But I'm, it really takes probably 1 hour of my time every week to self-manage these 8 units. If I used a property manager, I would lose close to $900 every month.
Yes.
So, and then I saw that I'm only losing an hour worth of time. So my hour, at least currently, is not worth $900. So I was like, okay, I'll self-manage for now. My goal is we are roughly at about 30 units now. But the latest acquisition that we have, I'm using property management. So
you are?
Yes. So
and tell me more. Is it near to the same 2 other assets? The third one too? How did you find it? Was it an off-market deal from a broker, or how did you come across that third one? How many units is that one?
That's also another 8 units.
8 units, okay.
Yes. So that was through a broker relationship off-market. And all of these 3 deals so far have been kind of just me and my wife. They have not been like JV or syndication deals.
Sure.
But this third one is, I would say, it's a Class C property in a B- neighborhood. So I'm not self-managing it. I'm having a property manager manage it for me. And essentially my idea was up to 20 units I can manage, but 20 plus now I'm going to start outsourcing management to the property manager.
Smart. Yeah, no, that's really good. Your return on time will be well worth, giving it to the asset management company and so forth. So what's next now? Are you going for some big jump?
And great question, Vinney. So I think really, one thing that has helped me by being a part of your mastermind program is to crush your limiting beliefs. Is to, if you have done 8 units, 12 units, then doing 12 units and 30 units versus taking down a 50 unit is not that much different. The stabilization timeline might be a little bit longer, and you may need maybe 2 more team members in your team. So now we are under contract on a 32 unit. It's a JV deal with one of my friends. He's a investor based out of Dallas. And the idea now is to do some more of these JV deals, maybe 30 to 70 units in that range.
Yes.
And then after successfully repositioning some of these, then go after 70 plus unit syndication deals and build up that experience.
Wonderful. I think that's fabulous to really harness the OPM, right? Other people's money. And there is so much of it in the retirement funds, cash, Wall Street, all over the place for sure. So how are you coming along with cultivating your investor space, if you want to share some ideas with the listeners, yeah, or watchers, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the exercises that I did was I went through my Facebook list of friends
Mm-hmm.
and my phone, and I had my wife do the same thing, just go through her list of friends and colleagues and her phone book. And
Mm-hmm.
we started maintaining a list of prospective investors.
Mm-hmm.
So we are not really approaching them, and at least at this point, talking about all the syndication work that we are doing,
Mm-hmm.
but at least keeping them informed. So what we've done is we've started to create monthly newsletters through our website and active campaigns.
Nice.
And
Nice.
monthly is not too often. That way, you're not really bombarding people with too much information, but at least you are staying in touch. And
Mm-hmm.
it's more about the goal of these newsletters has been to educate the passive investors and to
Yep.
let them know about our successes, some of the deals that we are closing. That way, by the time we are actually looking for investors, they already know that we have a track record, they already have some education content, and we are going to start conducting some webinars for our prospective investors as well. So I think
Love it.
it's really, we are really in the grooming phase for our investors, not
Mm-hmm.
actively looking to raise any capital at this time immediately, but
Mm-hmm.
really trying to make our investors aware of what we are doing and how we can partner up together on some of these future deals to create some win-win scenarios.
Wonderful, wonderful. And as you know, most everybody, you all know Regulation D with an exemption 506B, which is family and friends. So we need to have pre-existing relationships, and that's
Right.
what you're doing. You and your wife are doing that, which is fabulous, because by educating them and piquing their interest and letting them, because the trust is built over time. And as you share with them what your purchases have been, how you've renovated, I mean, this will be a beautiful story, a movie where, they could really look into, okay, somebody who's savvy, who's done it,
Right.
for 2, 3, 4 times to invest money. It makes sense. Makes sense. Makes them sleep, I say, well at night, right?
Right. No,
Yeah.
absolutely agreed, Vinney. And even from our side, we didn't want to immediately start raising investors' money. And
Mm-hmm.
it was important for us to get a good level of experience under our belt,
Mm-hmm.
especially with the market being so competitive, and most people seem to be overpaying for properties.
Yeah.
If you are doing that and raising capital from investors, then having that track record was extremely important for us too. Because
Mm-hmm.
I do see people, their first deal is a syndication deal, and sometimes things go well, sometimes they don't. But reputation is everything.
Yes.
So we just wanted to make sure that we have some proven track record before we start reaching out to our investors.
Totally, totally. So share with me, what kind of systems have you implemented which have helped your business? On the portals or some other softwares. How do you manage? And maybe you want to share some ideas. Yeah.
I think that's one area where I think there is definitely always room for improvement. So what we are doing is, for property management, we are using Buildium. So I
Buildium.
think for our portfolio, which is not that big currently, Buildium works just well.
Yep.
Eventually, I think Rent Manager or Yardi are great tools too. I'm using Asana for task management and project management between me and my colleague, who also happens to be my wife, and then another property manager that we are now beginning to leverage for our 8 units. So using Asana for that. Then we are using Active Campaign for sending out newsletters to our investors. And building some automated campaigns, that way if somebody signs up for a newsletter on the website, they automatically get a welcome email and so on. And that's something that the idea and the tool, I got that from you and John. That's how you guys are doing. So it's a great tool. It's a great tool to leverage.
It really is. It really is. It automates it, and it just sends them religiously all these different, like you said, newsletters. You could even span them out, right? And
Right.
then, give them chance to also dig into some other
Right.
opportunities as they come and as they arrive. And also from your website, you're able to link it so that people
Right.
can fill out the forms and all. Very
Right.
good. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what do you do? How about like listening or reading books? Which one would you suggest nowadays you're doing, and what the investors might be? It will be beneficial for them. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I do listen to a lot of, like, typically while running at the gym or driving, I listen to a lot of podcasts, including yours, the Bigger
Mm-hmm.
Pockets podcast. Of course, it's a very popular one.
Yes.
And then I do listen to a lot of audiobooks. So I
Mm.
think one of the very popular audiobook that most people know about is Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss.
Yes.
That's the
Yes.
one that I recently
It's a
completed
good one.
listening to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because we've been doing a lot of cold calling lately, and hopping on these calls with prospective sellers. It always helps to
Mm-hmm.
implement some of those suggestions that the book offers.
Techniques.
So
For sure, for sure.
yeah.
You sell cold calling. Do you have any virtual assistants also, or international
Yes.
assistants that you work with? Huh?
We do have one VA out of Philippines.
Oh.
So she is doing cold calling for us. We got the list from CoStar, got it skip traced, and are having the VA do the cold calling.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And then she would identify the hot leads and warm leads for us on a CRM solution on Monday.com. And
mm-hmm.
then I usually follow up with the sellers if it's a warm lead or a hot lead. So that's how.
Excellent. Love it, love it, love it. What would be some things that come to your mind? You could give some advice to somebody who's just starting out or who wants to move from the W2, into this. What would you
Right.
suggest? What should they do? What are maybe 3 factors that need to happen for them to really do what you're doing? Actually, you're really building that generational wealth slowly, 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 Yeah.
I would say like 3 things if I have to pick, Vinney. I would say
Mm-hmm.
one is educating yourself, because a lot of people are lost. Hey, is real estate good for me or not? Is this something that I'm going to enjoy?
Mm-hmm.
I think just picking up a few books and educating yourself can help at least partially answer that question. If
Mm-hmm.
real estate is something that you would enjoy, and why
Mm-hmm.
real estate is such a great asset class and investment vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
2 is building your network,
Yeah.
reaching out to folks like yourself. That was one of the first things that I did after I read your book. Was I reached out to you and John, and I
Yeah.
wanted to be a part of your group, because when you surround yourself with like-minded, ambitious people, it also motivates you to take action.
Yeah.
And third is
Sure.
really that, taking action, because you can
Action,
have all
yeah.
the education and the network, but if you
Yeah.
never take action, it's not
Yeah.
going to go anywhere. So I think I would say those 3 would be my top 3 picks.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Towards the end, what do you do for fun and things like that? And how can people reach you also? So,
Absolutely. I'm a ardent fan of just enjoying the nature. I love nature. So typically, if I'm not either working for my W2 job or doing real estate, I'm hiking somewhere in a national park. So that's something that I enjoy doing
nice.
outside of work.
Yes.
And people I'm very active on social media, on Facebook and LinkedIn. My first name, Jaideep, Jaideep, and last name Balekar, Balekar. And then I also have a business website, compoundingcapitalgroup.com.
Yep.
I'm very easily reachable through the website as well, if someone wants to sign up for newsletters or any content.
Excellent, excellent. Jay, it was such a pleasure to hang out with you. And our listeners, if you like the content, please give us 5-star thumbs up or write some comments. And we would love to see you next week. I hope the content has been great. And Jaideep, thank you so much for your time. Look forward to it, buddy, in the mastermind coaching. I know you contribute so much. in our sessions, and that's so wonderful to have very super excited, individuals who are moving and shaking and moving the needle, like I say, on a weekly basis. That's all it takes. It really takes that promise to yourself to really move it along. And now you have graduating it and then syndicating and joint ventures. So congratulations, all your successes. Thanks for spending time with me, huh?
Thank you so much, Vinney. Thanks for
Eh,
having me. It's always a pleasure to speak with you, and it's a great honor to be in your
uh,
mastermind program as well. And your energy is contagious. So a lot to learn from you. I'm still learning. So thank you so much.
oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, Jay, we'll talk to you again. Take care. See you in Mastermind, buddy.
All
Okay,
right.
bye bye. Bye bye.